Alright guys, sorry about that. Let me know if you can hear me in the YouTube channel. Lots of technical issues, of course. Everything's whipping around. Mouse is very slow too, that's not good. Hear me? Thank you. Alright guys, sorry about that. We'll do this disclaimer and I'll be back in a minute.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites are digital venues for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in most Apple Senate Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account below is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program and style of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may amount or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis and setups I share for trades and potential trades that I take for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach traders how to identify specific areas to trade and for themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky, and if you do decide to follow my personal trades, you do so at your own risk and can potentially lose your entire account and even more. I was profitable and have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values, and I'll need to include exact prices for my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices to enter trades whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use from mine to confirm the zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade as it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which way you personally decide to trade.
Alright guys, good morning. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Take you a look at the fair and breed index 61 out of 100.
Mouse is not working properly either.
29 out of 100.
Alright, I currently have long gold here. We'll go over these trades.
Currently down 9.59.
The issues kind of threw me off here. I gotta remember what I was doing. But I'm going to trail. I'm long gold. This sell ice just fired off. I'm going to trail my stop to that, and we'll go over some of these trades I already put on and potential trades. Obviously, markets are in pretty important areas that they seem like they're not. They're failing. Actually, I'll put this trade on. I'm going to short ES here on a pick strategy. 1 second. Let me just trail my stop here in gold, and then well, let me show you this current trade here, and then I can come trail it. So ES here, very important area. What it does right now, I am going to take a pick short, so you can see this market ripped right through this market profile composite with sell ice right up here. So I'm not a big fan of just taking these edges when it touches them. I like when they break out and then come back, one of those, or if they get inside then come back. But this was basically a straight move right through this thing, you know, closed here yesterday right to here, sell ice, and this is an important area on the bar charts too. So I'm shorting this first move out of here. If this, so this is already qualified as a short setup because it hit the ATR. This is how we judge our judges these volume events. We'll go over that, but this touches 56, 27, 25. I will be short the pick strategy. And these are the strategies that I'm referring to throughout the webinar. So all of these are just areas that I deem important where I'm looking for the SI, Stop Iceberg, volume events, which are the most powerful thing you can use in futures trading, in my opinion. I forgot what I was doing. anyway, I have the short working for the pick trade. It's 27.75. It's going to come to me here in a second what I was going to do because. Hold on. All right, let me trail my stop first and go there. 25.46.8. We'll go over all these trades once I get my bearings. 68 and then 16. And 25. All right, those are working. Trailing my stop. I was long gold earlier. We'll go over this trade. New event, and I can take trades obviously off of this new event. Oh, that's what I was going to show you is the ES chart, bar chart. Okay, there it is. All right, so this is a very important area for ES. Depending on what happens here, this latest event has already proven bearish, but going forward, I mean everything's fractal here, but you have, I'll just make this one big balance here. So this is days, going back to last Friday, basically, almost a full week of balance, right? Just chop city. And here we are, we're right at the high volume node, right? So we have a trade for this potential occurrence, failed balance breakdown. Market tried to break down yesterday. It comes back up here. First volume events I get above this high volume node, I can take aggressively. That's the trading strategy, failed balance breakdown. So one or two things are going to happen here. The thing's going to hold and come back, and then you could potentially have a failed balance breakout of this guy, and then that would make me very bearish as far at least short term, where I'll trade double size shorts. Or this holds right here and it rips higher, and then I will take double size long. So this is a very important area on the bar charts and market profile, which are, market profile is just a different look at the balance areas. This mouse is just not working well due to this OBS crappy software. Anyway, and we're, it touched right there. So if this gets out of here, and then we're going to violate that high volume node of that prior balance, I'd be trading double size longs. If not, we're probably going to take a trip right back down. That's that. NQ, I was long. We'll go over these trades here. I was long Bark and Lick right off the get-go here, off of this event. This was a stop and hold, one of the 6 distinct setups that I use in my trading. We had ATR retest confirm. I went long Bark and Lick, and I got out. It was right into the number. It was actually perfect. Doesn't usually happen this way, but it was right into the number. Some more stuff came in, but this was right into the red lug, and this is an area that I get out of my trades. Actually, I got long Bark, Lick, and pick on that stop and hold. So the pick trade was this market moving into this at the time. So I put on Bark, Lick, and pick, and I got out right into the red lug right at the number. So that was a nice trade out of that. I have nothing on right now. The most recent event was this buy ice at the red lug. And we have a trade for this. It's called I Lug U, where if it's sell ice at the lug, then I can go short aggressively. This was buy ice, so I wait for the ATR retest confirm. The problem with this one, I can't trade it because it touched. Actually, maybe it didn't. Because if it validated to the upside, making this a bullish event, then I can't take shorts. Obviously, those are my rules, and you can see it just touched the ATR line. So, if you want to say that it barely touched it, I still want to short this, you can do it. I'm following my rules. If I was an algo, the algo would say it touched the ATR line above, you cannot take a short off of this particular event. So I'm not doing anything off of this event. The only thing I got working right now is this ES pick. So I'm gonna lose my mind with this mouse. Dan, I don't know why it's obviously something that's OBS, but it's talking to the Bookmap guy. My mouse is ridiculously slow. I'm going to lose my mind on this webinar. So anyway, if this comes back, I'm going to short it. There's nothing for me to do on the long side off of this ES sell ice event because it already validated short to the exact tick. And this is another trade we have in my trade room. It's more of a scalp trade. It's called the ATR reversion trade. So these markets have a ridiculous propensity of touching the 1 ATR coming back to the zone, the 2 ATR coming back to the zone, the 3 ATR coming back to the zone. Some days the ones work nonstop. Some days the ones lose, the twos work. Some days the ones and twos lose, the threes work. The point is, if you're going to take this trade, I tell my trader all the time, you want to take as many as you can. So I actually have this strategy running at a trading firm right now where I don't have to take any of them by hand. So I don't trade those trades on the webinars. Once in a while, I'll do the A+ reversions. Maybe we'll cover those if we see one. But it's just a different type of trade. So this is what you see here on chart is these trades are drawn out for you. So this is I have a spreadsheet that how was that ES long validated? Hold on here. Hold on. I don't know what that was. It's got to be my other computer. Hold on a second. Okay. Anyway, this is not validate long. I don't know what's going on over there, but I still have a short working here. Anyway, what I was talking about was, when these events happen on the subchart down here, these stop iceberg events. So icebergs are just hidden orders in the order book that the big money puts in because they don't want to flash their size in the order book, or these algos will run the market away from them and cause them to chase it, so on and so forth. So they put in their orders where they just have to put a certain percentage of their order, say like 10%. So here, this sell ice, for instance, was 1,281. I think that the percentage they have to put in is 10%. So in the order book, it looks like there's 120, right? And then when they jump up and buy into that 120, there's another, there's a total 1,200 there. So that's how they hide their orders in the order book. But with the new CME, it's not new anymore. It's been around for almost 8 years now. The CME MBO data, the enhanced data, certain software providers, aka Bookmap, can read where these icebergs are, right, and disseminate that information, and it gives you these areas where the big money's playing. So, and we have patterns off of when this stuff happens, how to trade it. So this is by far, in my opinion, my 25 years of experience, the best edge you can ever have trading futures. And it doesn't matter what market you're trading as long as you know the threshold, meaning tradable amount, and we have thresholds for each one of these, and you don't even need to know those now because they're just built into the drawing tool. Once you have that, then you have your areas that you look for that are important to you, and again, we'll go over my important areas, and then I look for volume events at those areas. So that it's literally as simple as that. Trading is not easy, but the simpler you can make it, the better you're going to do. Let me post this document that I do every week as well. So we'll go over all these, and that's the very first one, the drawing tool. You can get that on the Bookmap marketplace, and we'll go over all this stuff. Let me post this first. Dean Schmidt, thank you for telling me Jesus loves me, but this is not a religious webinar, so let's stick to trading. I'd appreciate that. All right, so this is, again, pretty important. I'm not doing anything long off of this ES event, but if we get another event, I'm taking the fail balance breakdown of this guy, and I'm going to trade double size longs. Right, I still have my short working. That is not invalidated yet, but if this moves higher, I get a new event, I'm going to take the fail balance breakdown. This is an IZZY zone, an inflection zone, which are usually fade areas, one of my important areas, but in this case, it's directly above all of this balance. So if I did get a short setup up here, actually this is pretty close. Let's see here. I could probably take an IZZY fade trade here too, right? So this is this event that happened basically right at the edge of this. So what I demand if I'm going to take this IZZY, and these are not high percentage trades when you're breaking above this balance, but it's right here. I do demand ATR retest confirm. Most IZZYs, when it moves into the zone, I take it aggressively, meaning first move out of this SI volume event. But this is already done, ATR, retest confirmed. So if this fails, or if this particular event stays bearish, meaning it doesn't touch the ATR above, I'm going to short this We already talked about the pick, but I'm going to put on an Izzy too. But that's probably going to be disqualified here in 1 second, because if this touches this long validation line, this is the ATR line. You're seeing it right there. It's a nice ATR, by the way. It means the market's actually moving around today. Then those shorts are canceled. But I can't do anything on long side of this particular event because it's already validated to the short side. So if this touches this, my shorts are canceled, and there's nothing for me to do off this particular event, and I just move on to wait for the next event, and there's another event right around the corner. So waiting for that. I think I heard some in my trade room. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, so we're watching this closely. Nothing for me to do off of this volume event in NQ either. So we're sitting, wait for this stuff, and I will go over the trades I put on earlier. So all I have on now, you can see all these trades on the over here. So this is all the stuff I did this morning. I still have a couple gold on. Again, I trailed those stops. We talked about that right at the beginning of the webinar, but here's the NQ trades that I got out at the red lug, right? Those are just quick runners, and then caught some nice crude trades. I'll go over those here shortly. So crude, gold, and NASDAQ is all I've done today, and winners across the board there. We'll go over the Apex. I have an Apex account assigned to each one of these strategies that you see here. What did I just fill on here? All right. Well, first and foremost, my potential shorts in ES are disqualified, right? DQ'd, because I was going to take the short here when it came back. Now it validated to the upside too. So this is dead to me, this event, right? So first of all, I need to cancel. What did I just fill on? Let's see, I just got long ES on accident. Hold on here. That's my MO. Mystery orders in the order book. Let me get out of these. Did not want to go along that. Okay. I forgot what I was going to say there. All right, so we got some activity here in crude. We'll go over what I did earlier. It was way down here. Caught some nice longs. I threw this in the room right before it happened, my trade room. So this at the time was a BA, strategy BA, breaking away. This one down here. Break of longer term balance area with high relative volume, 200% or more, where the trades are taken first and move out of the SI event. So I actually missed a couple trades down here too. This was a bark and a lick too, blind ATR retest confirmed off of this guy. So right off the bat, actually this might have been lower. I can't remember where this was. Yeah, this was it. Right off the bat, the sell ice came in and turned it out to be a broken ice. So sell ice came in, broken ice event. So I took the breaking away trade off of that, but this did, or it might have been this one, but either way, this did retest this zone. For my trade room members, you should have been long that bark and lick, but I took I can't remember if it was off of this one, but I took the breaking away trade, which was this activity here. Get this out of here. So that was this guy here. Actually, I could have taken a failed balance breakout. So there was a couple trades I missed down here too, the FBB trade. But anyway, this was balance, right? I was breaking out of the balance, got my volume event with high relative volume. That's what I demand for this particular strategy. That was this. Relative volume is very important because it tells you where the big money is playing. Right? You can see here, that was here. So I think there was some news, some Libya news or something. I don't care what the news is. I'm not a fundamental trader. I let the market tell me what's going on, right? I don't say, oh, there's Libya news, I'm going long. If my volume events, this one did end up ripping, but I still trade my volume events the same way. Anyway, you can see that heavy relative volume, and then that breakaway of that volume event, right? So I took the BA trade, breaking away trade right away. And again, I missed barks and licks. I could have put on that, and I could have potentially put on the failed balance breakdown from yesterday. I mean, tried to break down yesterday, didn't happen, and then it ripped back to that volume down. Anyway, I got long off of these events. And then I rode it up right into the magical red lug, and I got out. And you can see here, this is why we use these things. Second most powerful thing I've ever seen trading next to the SI event. I mean, to the exact tick. So this is a great trade. Literally got out right at the red lug, and that was confluent at the time with liquidity. I had the liquidity. I did put on liquidity trades off of something over here. I think it was this one, ATR retest confirmed. So I put a bark and lick off of this stuff. I should have been, like I said, I should have put them on off of this stuff down here, but I got a chance to put those on too. So I had like 4 strategies on. I think it was the pick as well, and I got out right up here, and you can see this resting liquidity. This is what this is one of the areas I get out anyway. Some of my contracts try to get through, fail to get through resting liquidity, and I got out of the entire trade. The lugs are usually where I will exit my entire trade, and or opposing buy event. So these are the areas. So the trading in the zone document, we'll talk about this at length. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. Ludwig levels, number 1. The major Ludwig levels, if it can't bust through right away, I am out because it's that powerful. Here's what I was talking about. Struggle to get through heavy resting liquidity. So great crude trades, great NQ trades today, and then gold. I took an Izzy trade right off the bat. There's nothing to do right now, guys, so that's why I'm just recapping these trades from earlier because I'm just waiting for a new volume event. So gold opened up. So again, my important areas. Here's an Izzy zone, right? So you had, and watch out here too. There could be. I'm just waiting for a new event here. Actually, there is a new event here in gold. I could take a failed balance. I could take 2 different trades here. There we got NQI is firing off too. Anyway, what's going on here right now? You have a current balance breakout. I got long into this Izzy zone at the open, by the way. I'll show you that volume event, but you guys are on here for current stuff, so that is a balance breakout. If the relative volume is over 200%, I can take a breaking away trade called BA, right? And then what else do we have? We have a potential fail balance breakdown of that guy. And we're right here at that high volume node. If I get an event, I can take that aggressively. And we have a breaking bad. Breaking bad is another strategy. I'll show you all these in the chart or in my document where you have current balance breakout through the high volume node of prior balance. So I've got 3 different trading strategies potentially I can take here just on the structure stuff. So these are the newest strategies that I put in here. They're a little more advanced, where you got to understand what you're looking at. But you got the breaking away. The relative volume is high and it's not, so that one is not in play. But you do have fail balance breakdown, FBB, and breaking bad in play here. You don't need the heavy relative volume for those trades. So that's step 1, identifying your areas. Then you look for the most important thing, the real-time volume events in those areas. Then we have rules for trading them. So you can see here, remember I already said I was long, so this was the Izzy trade I took earlier off of this. This was down here, sorry. This was a broken ice event where that was in that Izzy zone, and I got long immediately, and I trailed my stop to this stuff. And I did put on barks and licks here too, so you can see all this on my, on here. That's all this stuff here. So I still have some on. That was the Izzy trade. Let's see. This was the 116. I can't remember what that one was now. 116. Oh yeah, that was metal bark. So bark and then lick was 125. So I originally had the Izzy trade, and then I put on barks and licks off of this event because it followed the pattern. So barks and licks, you need to see the ATR, the retest, right there. Confirm, went long there too. And I got out as this market made money available to me in my areas that I just showed you. Here was some heavy resting liquidity that was kind of struggling at, so I got out of some there and I got out of some up here. And I'm trailing my stop to this. So back to this event right now, right? Because you guys are on here to trade live or watch me trade live. You guys should not be mirroring my trades. You should understand and see this stuff for yourself and then put the trades on. Obviously, if you're new, you're not going to know that yet. So I will demonstrate, but the whole goal is to teach you how to do this for yourself. Anyway, this never validated as a short, right? I never stepped out of my long. So for this event right now, I could take the FBB, I could take the Breaking Bad. Here's my entry, 25.53. So the zone drawing tool based on your risk level. So on these Apex accounts, I'm risking 10% of the $5,000 allotted. Most of them are 5,000, some are 6,500, but I'm risking 10%, which is an extremely large risk. If you're trading your own money, you should be risking maximum 2%. Anyway, I will go long FBB and Breaking Bad, 25.55.3. Those are two of the strategies, and then you can see here there's liquidity. So if we get this situation, so I have different strategies where I will get in aggressively, meaning first move out of the zone, right? I have other strategies where I demand the ATR retest confirm. I just showed you that for this one down here. So I immediately out of here, if this moves out of here at this price, I could put on Breaking Bad FBB. And then if it touches the ATR, the retest confirm, I can also put on barks and licks. And that's all. These are all in the trading strategies that part of my room, and I go over every day. That's these strategies here. Blind ATR retest confirm. So all this is, so I've been talking about taking these trades in important areas. Well, the edge is inherent in the SI event, so I want to take advantage of any time I see an SI event, no matter what, right? Even if it's not in an important area. So I do take advantage of those, but I demand that type of action to take those trades. So let me put these trades in. If this breaks out of here, 25.54, and you got to keep adjusting with the volatility. This is taking into consideration the current ATR. This is just telling me it's rotating about 31 ticks every 5 minutes, right? But like yesterday, I got burned. I took 3 YM longs, and I wasn't paying attention. We went over this in my trade room, and I had 3 YM longs, and the volatility picked up, and my entry moved up, and I didn't move my entry up, and I got filled at my original entry, and it did one of these, and I never would have been filled if I was paying attention and moved it up. So you have the zone drawer and or the spreadsheet, so you can get, again, the spreadsheet is the zone drawer now, where you don't even have to input these. But if you use the spreadsheet, you come in my room, this is what you get the spreadsheet too. There's times you need to use the spreadsheet, especially if the ATR is incorrect, so on and so forth. But you need to keep updating at least the ATR so you get the correct entry prices, right? And this is this right here, entry prices. So that all you're looking at here, all this stuff that looks so confusing on this chart, all you're looking at is the liquidity, which is the order book, and the zone drawer, where it tells you if it's a bullish event, ATR, bearish event, ATR, where you enter. So we get in just outside of an ATR, and this is just from trading so many of these over the years that I know you don't want to enter right at the ATR. You want the market to show it can push outside the ATR, and that's a little safer entry, right? And then you have the reversion lines where we're playing for those trades back to the zone. I don't take this on these webinars, but that's what all this stuff is. And then here's the stop losses for the reversion trades, right? So that's what you're seeing on here. I know it looks complicated, but once you understand what you're looking at, it couldn't be simpler. All right, so let me put these in while I'm still chirping. I need to put on FBB long, number 87, and it tells me my size based on my risk. I can put on 0.6 of a full contract. Obviously, they don't have that, so you want to be trading micros. So instead of trading one lot in and out, all or nothing, you can piece out. So if I trade 6 micros, I can get out of 2 at an important area, another 2 at an important area, so on and so forth. So 25.54. Put these in real quick. And what I'm going to do is trade double size. Actually, let me, before that happens. So we'll get over here to NASDAQ here in a second. The new event just fired off. But I'm going to trade double size gold longs based on my thesis, right? So I'm a day trader. I take shorts and longs no matter what. But if my thesis, aka my opinion, it's in line with the volume events, then I trade double size. Well, this is extremely bullish now. If this breaks above here, that's bullish. This is ridiculously bullish, right? We went over this last week. This was all that buy ice in here that held. So you had a breakout of that guy. So usually when you break out a balance, you expect that the height of the balance is the move eventually. That's already occurring. Then you have the failed balance breakdown that's happening right now, and then you can make this even fractal. So we get above this zone, then you can have a potential breaking out of this balance too. So everything's fractal, but this looks ridiculously bullish, especially with this failed balance breakdown from yesterday and the breaking bad, so on and so forth. So I'm going to take these trades that I just talked about, and I'm going to take them double size long. And then I'll head over to NASDAQ here in a second. So instead of trading 6, I'm going to trade 12, 25.52 now. But again, you got to keep adjusting that until you get filled. So those strategies are number 87. That's FBB. And then we have the Breaking Bad, number 100. So we already went over all these, with these two. All right, so those are working. There, those are working. All right, over to NASDAQ. So if that, you'll hear it fire off. And then what I can also do here too, but I need to see this pattern, I already talked about this, is Barks and Licks as well. I need to see ATR, hasn't hit it yet, retest confirmed, and then I'll put on double size Barks and Licks, and you can see this liquidity right up there, and I'm sure there's probably more above that too. Yeah, you got bands up here, so those are all working. Let's see what's going on in NASDAQ. I'm not going to do natural gas right now. All right, so we had a sell ice event. That's step one, obviously, just identify the event, and now we want to see where we're at, aka important areas. So this is, I kept this in here. I still think it's relevant. You can see this prior, actually what I should have done, you can merge all three of these now, but it still looks like it's relevant. Anyway, it's this guy here, this prior one, right? You can see this is right where this broke down from yesterday. I think we took this trade, actually. But anyway, you can see it's breaking out of that. But what I could do, since you have, this is what I'm going to do right now. So you had composite. So all we're doing is composites are daily value areas, single days, like yesterday. Let me merge this back so you can see what I'm talking about. I like to spread it out just to see like the areas that it failed at. So that was a single day, right? They're important areas, but not anywhere near as important as when you merge days. So when you get days that merge by 50% or more, so this was another day, then you merge them together, and then I draw these blue rectangles. That just tells me it's a composite. But what you have going on here now is you had a composite, you had a prior composite, you wouldn't merge those obviously, but then the third composite was inside, overlaps the third composite. So what I'm going to do here is see what this looks like, merge them all. And let's see if the market's respecting those areas. I'm pretty sure it is. Merge, merge. Let's make this, so this is a whopper composite, like many days here. Let me get rid of that. Race drawing. All right, so let's bring this up to here. There you go. All right, so I mean, there was stuff down here earlier. I could have taken this. I just didn't have that merged, and I had so much going on with the gold and crude, but that was a break into there. So what should happen with markets when they get into market profile composites? You should expect the other side, thesis-wise, right? So right now I'm fully expecting, and especially if this can form new Ludwig levels, I'm fully expecting a move up to here today. And then we already talked about the failed balance breakdowns. Everything's pointing right now just a little higher that these markets are going to rip off the page. Surprise, surprise, right? Like this is it. Like this is the area for a lot of stuff going forward. It's already gotten through this, right? This activity. So I could take a failed balance breakdown of that guy right now. All right, so this is telling me to do this right now, actually. What is with barking dogs outside? Damn it, I'm missing this trade. All right, so the entry for that FBB was right here off of this last event. and we have some new activity here too. So I can go long that right now at 19,687, and I'm going to trade double size. Hold on here, just because of what I just talked about with the thesis. I'm hoping we have new lugs here and that. This is the one thing I'm worried about. I want to see some new lugs form because these things are so powerful. Come on, give it to me. There you go. That's what I wanted. All right, so I'm trading double size longs here, and I could put on other strategies. The main one right now is FBB. Number 87. Get that going here. And my size is... I just got filled on those longs. So I'm not gonna. I should have already been long right here. If it comes back, I'll take it. 19,687. I know I could just jump in here at a better price, but I just feel like I got away with something if it didn't fill. You know, if I didn't get in right there, and then it runs away. So you can see with the volatility that's going on, the size of the zones, I can only put on 2. I'm going to put on 4 because I'm trading double size, but that's not a lot, right? I mean, it's all contingent on the volatility, so on and so forth, for my risk levels, right? So this is all part of the zone jar. You can put any risk level you want in there. So that entry price is 687. I'm going to put on 4. All right, so that's the fail balance breakdown, and then there's other things we can obviously trade off of all this stuff that's going on right now, right? So while we were looking at the other markets, this came in. This turned into a broken ice event, right there. Just touched the ATR. So there's a way I could potentially still go long that guy, right? And then I can trade the most recent one, add to it. These are barks and licks that I'm potentially eyeballing off of these events. But off of this event right now, if this touches this price again, 87, I'm long. It's about to happen. I'll be long FBB. I probably don't want to enter right in the middle of this thing. I'll move it out of here a second. Let's see here. And then there's other strategies I could put on as well. We'll go over those. But let me. I don't like entering in events. Like, of course, now my bookmap's freezing. I'm going to move this up to 93. I'm willing to risk 6 more points so I don't feel right in that zone. Let's move that to 93. All right. So I'll be long the FBB. That's the first strategy that I'm going to put on here in NASDAQ. Just talked about it, but this is already happening, right? You can make that one fractal, one big one. There's your balance breakdown. Tried, couldn't. Here we are through the high volume node. First event you get through the high volume node, you put that on aggressively, meaning first move out of the zone, right? I should already be filled, but I didn't put that on. Now I'll put it on if this moves higher. What else do we have? Well, algo guy. So this is my filter for barks and licks. This has to be in the direction of potential barks and licks. Algo guy is obviously bullish here. This is an exponential moving average. It helps me judge those more aggressive trades of the bark and lick. They're not necessarily aggressive. They're just, again, I trade them no matter what area they're in. This is bullish, so barks and licks are in play. So there's a couple different events here, right? We already talked about. I can take a bark and lick off of this guy potentially. Actually, I could not because we default to the most recent event. So let's just back up here. This event, if this touches this ATR line below, this is going to make this a bearish event, right? So I cannot take, if this stuff was below here, there was a way I could take this guy from before, right? But the most recent event, if this touches this, which would be right at the top of that zone, this is, we default to the most recent events. That would make this a bearish event, so I could not take barks and licks off of this guy. But we still have in play barks and licks off of this guy. If that touches the ATR retest confirm, and then we can add the barks and licks with this guy. So this one's off the table, as all I was showing you, because this most recent event would invalidate that. So now let's just move to this stuff. I'll still go long this first one, the FBB, but if this touches this, then that's canceled, right? So again, guys, if you're new here, I know this sounds very confusing. It's not confusing once you understand what you're looking at. All right, so for this sell ice, potential broken ice event, you can see that was the ATR for that guy right there, right? So if that gets up there, then I can take barks and licks off of that. And then for this most recent event, you can see the ATR line way up here. And then I can add to those barks and licks potentially, right? So none of that's happened yet. So these are all working. I still am not long anything, right? Technically, like I said, I should have been long this right here off this guy, but we'll see. So if this fails, then I've got other strategies because we default to the most recent event, right? So what else do we have? Let's see where we're at. So I don't do anything until this shows me its hand, right? I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't just jump in events. I used to, when I first started using this, I'd be like, oh, great, there's some dumb money pukes, the Dumb and Dumber, I'm going to go short right away. I learned the hard way. It is not beneficial to just jump in off of these events right away. We have one trade that does that. That's the TikTok. I posted that on Twitter yesterday. We'll go over that trade. But other than that, I need to see it be able to push an ATR away from the event. And then I take my trades, right? All right. If you got questions, throw them in the book and the YouTube, please. But let's see what we got here now. So this is still not, this is starting to fail. So this is why it's like if these markets are truly bullish, I'm going to trade double size longs, these events should not be failing, right? That tells you something that they start to fail. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to go short if I'm not in an important area, but it is telling me something. So like I said, thesis-wise right now, this is why I want to trade double size longs. If these events stay bullish, this accepted into the swapper. What do you expect? The other side. I think we just got another event too. What happened with the Ludwig levels? Well, it busted through formed new ones, that's bullish in itself. If it can hold current directional yellow, prior directional red, and then you expect the next red. For some reason, if this fails, something's up. There we go. So now something's up, right? This is still in this guy, but if this does one of these and doesn't make it to the other side and then moves back out of here, watch out below, right? And we just saw how important this puppy is. So this FBB that I was going to take is now canceled. Why? Because this just proved to be bearish. And we got more activity here too. So there's a lot of activity here. What does that mean? It just means there's a lot of loaded up traders. You could expect a whopper move out of this area no matter which way it breaks. I don't want to hear, oh, that doesn't help me. It does help you, right? We don't know which way we're trading yet, but once this moves out of here, you can hold your trades for bigger moves because there is so much investment in this area, right? The sell ice, the buy ice. There's traders on the other side of these trades. Buy stops, buy ice. This area, you can expect, especially with the volatility, I will bet, if I were a betting man, which I am, I would bet there's at least a 200-300 point move out of this area. Don't know which way yet. That's why we use our volume events, right? And the rules around those volume events. All right, let me see where we're at here. The only thing I think I could take short right now is a potential Izzy. Let's see. So this is getting interesting. This should have done that. It's not over yet, but this is, we talked about this area that should have done that. So many times in markets, when the market should do something and it doesn't, expect whoppers the other way. So this is a very important area for ES and NQ. Anyway, that stop run was above this Izzy zone, so I cannot take an Izzy. We just got the buy ice back into the zone. I could take an Izzy long off of this buy ice event, right, in the inflection zone. So as long as this is the most recent event. So this one proves short or bearish, right, because I got to the ATR. We already talked about that, right? You can see it pretty much bounced right off of that prior event. Now you have this. So depending on what happens here, if this can hold long, meaning it doesn't invalidate a long by touching the ATR below 610.75 as of right now, I can take an Izzy long, right? And I can I'll still do that FBB off of this guy, the failed balance breakout, right? Off of this dude, and that entry is going to be way up here. If this fails, these aren't the best Izzies as far as coming back into the zone, just sitting in the zone. We do have a variation here, right? So what happened here is it did this. Here's your buy ice. So I'm willing to take that long. If this holds, I'll take the long. I don't want to confuse people. Even room members get confused. If it's just sitting in the zone, or like it's in an Izzy zone, could I go short? You can, but this is not Izzies are meant to be fade moves, right? So like this one on the long side, it moved out, moved back in. I'll take it. You don't really want to go Izzy short when it moved back. The Izzy shorts are supposed to be this way, right? So there is a way I can take the Izzy short. It's a variation. I'll show you that in my document. But I need to see the ATR, the retest, confirm, and then I'll take the Izzy short. And I'm interested in that up here anyway, because if this fails, it's going to get ugly. So ready for that. That's the price to make this a bearish event. I could take the Izzy short. And I can't take barks or licks right now, but this is getting interesting too, right? Algo guy is trying to potentially cross here. So we call it algo guy because there's so many algos that trade these exponential moving averages. This is the shorter term. These are just different time periods, right? Forming a band. These are the shorter term time periods. These are longer term. Right now it's bullish. The blue is above the red. But if and when this crosses, then you have these algos that play the cross that helps the market move lower just on that stuff. So that's what we call it algo guy. So this is really, really important. What's going on here? If this breaks, if this balance area, high volume node, again, this should have already ripped off the page. This could get ugly, right? So right now, I don't know yet. I'm willing to take the Izzy long with my volume event, but this area, and we just looked at all the activity here, it's going to be interesting. So if this holds, I'm going to go long Izzy here's your entry point on the zone jar, 1976.75. I could put on a whopping 2 guy. So let me put that in. There's some stuff going on in soybeans I just can't get over there right now. We'll take a look if nothing happens here. So I'm going to go Izzy long. At 1976.75. I'm going to try double size up there too, because then the market's very likely going to rip off the page. So that's working. Not doing anything yet. It's buy ice right here. I'm not doing anything till this can push out of here, the ATR, and then enter. If this touches 1250, that trade's canceled, and then potential shorts are on the table. Algo guy be crossing, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it if that happens. So now I'm just sitting here waiting. This guy was bearish, but there's really nothing that was through that Izzy zone, and I can't take barks or licks short yet because algo guy isn't cross. So nothing to do off of that guy right now, even though that was a bearish event. This is the guy I'm watching right now. So now we just wait. What else we got going? If you got questions, throw them in YouTube. On Discord, we don't see what you're sharing on YouTube. Sorry about that. Everything got screwed up this morning because of the crappy OBS software. I've been saying it's crappy for a year, so that's no. It shows it should. No. Sorry. You guys are on the wrong window. Sorry about that, guys. Again, I was really thrown off at the beginning of this webinar. I had 15 things on, and then the thing's not working, and then I got to troubleshoot with Dan from Bookmap. So you guys should be able to see it in Discord now. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, I just saw this in YouTube too. So if you can't see it, let me know. Demo Trader, can you see it now? Let me know. Okay, got it. All right, sorry about that again. I was scrambling though. I had so many things on, and I was trying to get out at the red lugs, NASDAQ, crude, gold, and then I had to troubleshoot. So had everything all ready to talk about, and then I couldn't remember what I did. All right, so there's nothing new here in ES. So once again, this is, there's not as much activity in ES here, but I already talked about this. This is a very, very important area. If this fails, it's probably not going to be pretty. But right now, it's looking okay, right? There's no volume event, but I'm ready to take double size longs here. If this fails, then watch out. So now we just wait. This is telling me something's up here. You see that this is tick strike. So again, let's start going over the stuff. I know I go over it. It's all basic stuff, but there's always new traders on these webinars, right? There's a zone drawing tool. You get that at the Bookmap Marketplace. I already talked about this. This is what you're looking at on the thing. It's my spreadsheet on the heat map, right? There's my course. We'll go over that, but this right here. They're supposed to change this to, of course, it's not working. we go. You got to click on this. I don't know why it's not automatically, but if you come here and you say, oh, it's 0, that's awesome. You got to hit the monthly, right? And right now you get the enhanced version of it, the pro beta, and now it's updating in the Bookmap add-ons too. So once you get it, if there's a new version, it pushes it right to your Bookmap. It's awesome. But anyway, that's that. We'll just go over this stuff now, guys, because there's nothing. We're just in a holding pattern in these markets. Nothing's happening right now. Here's the course. So again, hold on here. Just quickly, I do this every week just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So that's the course. It goes over. Let me pull this up so I can show you guys these various setups. The course right here. So this is the updated version. Somebody in my room asked me yesterday, it's because if you go to my website, there's still the 2020 version on there. There we got some crude stuff. That was an awesome exit at the red lug there. Thank God. And we'll go over that too. But on my website here, there's 2 different courses, right? There's the new one, and then there's the old one. I cut this one in half. It's still, you can still learn. It doesn't have the 6 setup, the step rows. I'll show you that here in a second. But it talks about the basics, but I trade things differently now. I've evolved over the years. This was done 4 years ago. It's still, we're still using the SI indicator, the most powerful thing you can ever use in your trading, in my opinion. But it's evolved. That leads me to the new one. It's 2023, but I'm doing the exact same stuff. I haven't changed, anything. And if I change something, you guys will get an email about what I've changed. Anyway, it goes over everything: the settings, the thresholds for the products, meaning the tradable amounts. If you have the zone drawing tool, you don't even need to know that because it draws on its own based on my thresholds, right? And then adjusting your thresholds on certain days when stuff's flying around, or you're seeing above threshold all days and things like that. The subchart settings, the on-chart settings, the sweeps indicator settings, and then how to draw the zones. Again, you don't need to know how to do this if you have the zone drawing tool, but you still want to know because there's times you need to adjust the tool or adjust the zone, so on and so forth. But this is a progression on drawing the zones because we were drawing them incorrect in the beginning only for about 5 years. They still worked tremendously. They still were awesome, but they weren't exact. Now they're exact. And that the zone drawing tool makes it even more exact. But anyway, it goes over that, and then here's the setups I take. Dumb and Dumber, Stop and Hold, Titanic, Broken Ice, Double Whammy, Step Bros. So this is the newest one that I put in versus the 2020. And then using the ATR, we've been talking about that today, right? That's in the spreadsheet and the zone drawing tool. Advanced trading in zones, and then my smiling face when you get done. So that's the course, right? So you can learn this stuff if you come in my trade room or the Bookmap webinars. You absolutely can learn it on the fly. But all I hear from people is, you're talking too fast. Everything's going too fast. Well, yeah, because I'm trading live, right? Nothing's really happening right now. When stuff starts rolling around, I don't have the time to say, okay, guys, this is how you draw the zone, and then this is the ATR that you want. I do talk about this, but not at, it's not. I don't go over basics in live trading, so you can learn while I'm trading. And bypass the course. It's just going to take you a lot longer. If you get the course, you fast track it, you understand what you're looking at when I start trading live, and then you hit the ground running. So that's the course. All right, so we're still waiting to see what happens here. I still have my Izzy long working here. All right, gold is ripping. Remember, I'm long there. I added to the longs. I'll come back to the spreadsheet when stuff dies down here. And now what do I do? So I was already long. Then we took Bark. What did I take here? Did I take Barks and Licks here? What did I take here? Hold on. Oh wait, no, 100. We put something on during this webinar, didn't we? Sorry guys, again, the Bookmap thing really threw me off today, or the OBS thing. We took the Breaking Bad trade, right? I thought I took other ones too. Guess not. Yeah, I did. They'll bounce breakout. So we already talked about this, right? So this is this. That was this. I took failed balance breakdown of that guy, and I took breaking bad current balance breakout through the high volume node, and I took double size, right? We already went over this. But now, so that was off of this sell ice event, right? It never validated. I was already long from other stuff down here, but this was on the webinar. It never invalidated as a long setup. First move out of here, I took those trades. Now we have a new event. So now, first and foremost, I can trail my stops. My stop for these trades, I got in there. That's the yellow line. That's the ATR plus 15%. That's where we enter. My stop was down here, an ATR plus 15% below. Now with the new event, I can move my stop up to the most recent event. And then there's things I could trade off of this guy, right? This is how I do it. You just sit and you wait for your events in important areas, and then you put on the trades. So I'm at least minimal going to trail my stop here. We put this on not too long ago on the webinar. 2554.4 is my new stop for these. Let me put that in. I double size on too. 2555.4. That's correct. 87. That's working. And I still had a couple on from earlier. I got to trail those stops too, so bear with me, guys. I got to funnel through all these different accounts. That's trail, and then finally 16. That's trail. All right, those are all working trailing stops. So now we have a new event. What can we do here? Let's see where we're at. This isn't an Izzy zone, but I would not take this. So this is what this is meant to be, these zones. Here's a move into it with a volume event. You could take it aggressively out of here. I am not taking this first move out of here because you're breaking above balance. You're breaking above balance. This is basically one big balance area that we've been talking about the whole webinar. These are not high percentage trades just taking that short right away. Yes, they failed breakouts happen all the time, right? Or breakdowns. I will still take this Izzy because I know what an important zone this is. Led to directional conviction, selling tail, gap down. Very important zone. But it's a different situation now where you have all this balance. So I would take the Izzy if this fails, but I need to see ATR retest confirmed. This is variation number 1 from the trading strategies. Where are we at? Izzy. Why can't I find it? Here we go. Variation number 1. In the case of a zone that is directly above, in this case, a multi-day balance area, trade can still be taken, but needs ATR retest confirmed. So that's variation number 1. So I will take that short if that happens. Other than that, I am long, and I just trail my stop to that. Let's see if we got anything else here for my areas that I deem important. You may have your own areas, which is completely fine. It's not for me to say what areas you deem important. It is for me to tell you that if you're not using the SI indicator and real-time volume, you don't have all the information. I don't care how good of a trader you are. You'd be 10 times better if you understood this stuff. This is potentially a pick trade too, right? It's breaking out of this multi-day. It's going back to 816 value area. So I could take this long aggressively out of here. I probably could have already done that now that I'm looking at it off of that other event. Let's see, what was this? What was the price of this high of this? That was 2553.6. Yeah, I could already taken this off of this guy, right? Because the entry was right out of there, 2555.1. So I should have been long pick here too. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put on the pick. You could take a new pick off of this, but I should already be long it. I'm going to just go long right here. I don't usually do this, but my stop's right here anyway, so I'll just take the long. If it comes back, it stops me out, but I should have already been long the pick too. I just screwed that up because I've had about 500 things going on in this webinar. All right, so that's 7. I'm just risking down to here. If this comes back to 2554.5, I'm out. I don't usually do this. I just miss the trade. So, and otherwise, what you could do is take the pick off of this guy, enter there. I just missed it off of this. So anyway, if this comes back and stops me out of all my longs, I'm fine. And then I could put on an Izzy short, that. So, I'm sorry, Izzy short. Other than that, the algo guy's bullish. I can take barks and licks off of this guy too, right? Bullish algo guy. I could take barks and licks off of this. Why can't I take barks and licks off of this guy, which has not retested yet, right? ATR hasn't retested. Why can't I take barks and licks off of that? Because that would make this a bearish event. We default to the most recent. If it touches that line, that's bearish event. I can't take longs off of this anymore. So I can take barks and licks off of that, right? So if this comes back, stops me out, then I'm out of everything. And then a potential short. So we just wait there too. Yes is running off the page. No new events up here. Important spot gamma level. And I didn't look at the hero today. We can read spot gamma as well. We'll get into that's part of that spreadsheet. You can get we'll get into that as I get down through this document. But let's pull up the hero here. Lose the zero and get with the hero. So this makes sevens on its highs. That's why these markets are moving higher. These are the highest weighted stocks in the indices, right? That's on its highs. This is just options activity, but these guys are big players in the market. They have to hedge their options with futures, right? And stocks. So depending on what stock it is. All right, I'm about to get stopped out of that GC, which is fine. Those are good. Those are very good trades. The first couple anyway. All right, so now I'm out, right? It just touched. This event is now bearish. So this could be the end of the run for gold for right now, right? And again, if the market's truly bullish, you shouldn't be seeing bearish events. So there we go. I stopped it out. I should be out of everything now. This one or this one. Hold on. Out of that. And out of that. Alright, so I'm out. If this does this, I can put on an Izzy short. We already went over that. Alright, it's getting interesting here in the stocks. Hero's on a tie. Well, see, yes, Hero is not. So you got some mixed signals here. We don't have a trade-off of this yet, but see, this is starting to turn over. So this is getting real interesting, guys, for Armageddon, for the move to zero today. Just wonderful. Alright, I still don't know what this is, right? This last event. What did I say? What am I working here? I can't remember what I said. Hold on. Oh, remember I said I didn't know what I was going to do here. This is not the quintessential Izzy, right? It came back. I was going to take the Izzy long. And sitting in here, I will take the Izzy short. We already talked about this, but I need to see ATR retest confirm off of this buy ice, which will make this a broken buy ice event. It still has not confirmed. I had the Izzy long working, still working. This is not confirmed as a short setup yet. It's just bouncing around this volume event, right? But I'm telling you, if this market moves out of this area, it is going to be a whopper. A lot of stuff here. And I really, really hope it's short, because I love being short, and I love watching the longs get their asses handed to them, because these markets are so nonsensical, right? It doesn't matter if I think it's nonsensical or not, right? It is what it is, but I just love being short, just because it's fun watching everyone puke out everything. All right, so I don't know what's happening here yet, and there's nothing in ES, so now we just wait. There was some stuff in crude. I just didn't get over here. Let's see what we missed. Again, I was long the morning, and I got out exactly at the red lug. And then, guys, this is why I use this stuff. I mean, this is why I use the lugs. They're incredible. Lug is short for Ludwig level, right? Gold's just pulling back, so it's back here. Nothing's really been violated. That event is what I could take here too. By the way, I could take a pick short too. So if this event, remember. We're going to take an Izzy short here if this is a variation where ATR retest confirm. But if it does the ATR retest confirm, I'm going to go short pick here too, because why? It's going to be moving back And this is telling you something as for right now too, right? This thing tried to break out of here. If this gets back inside here, I'm going to take the pick short as well. I've done nothing yet. I'm waiting to see what happens there. NQ bark short off of the previous event. This is pulled. I think this is what we're waiting for, right? So this isn't not yet. But if this event does, see how this is trying to pull right now? Here it goes. It's pulling. Now you're going to get these algos that jump on that cross. Right? What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. I mean, we do have a trade for it. It's called the heavy L. Algo got crossed, but there's no heavy relative volume right now. So this is interesting, right? It just crossed. Now, what can I do with this? This isn't officially. I think it's official. I didn't hear Bookmap Bob say anything. Hold on. There you go. There's Bookmap Bob on cue. So now this is a bearish event. Now, thank you, Jim Thomas, for pointing that out. Guys crossing, bearish. So we already talked about the Izzy, but I need to see that. Now I could put on barks and licks short off of this event. If that happens, that hasn't happened yet for either. I'm not doing anything aggressively on the short side here, meaning I jump in first, move out of the zone. I'm waiting for all three of those strategies. I need to see ATR retest confirm. I'm getting very excited though because these markets should have ripped off the page. They're not, and you have all the fuel up here. I keep saying it. It's gonna this should not be happening. It hasn't, nothing major has happened yet, but we talk about every day what should happen. If it doesn't happen, watch out the other way. This thing should have done that. Why is it not? Why is it faltering here? Why are we getting bearish events? We got all this activity up here. This could be headed to zero today. One fat finger move to zero. Nothing yet. I'm not doing anything yet. I'm not short anything yet. Right? I'm just pointing it out. That's my thesis of what's going on. I trade longs and short. If I got a long right here, I turn around and go long on a volume event, right? But if I get this thesis going, I don't necessarily want to take shorts double size up here off of this event, but if we start moving lower and I start getting short setups, I will be firing double size shorts today. So now we just wait for a retest. Bookmap Bob will let us know. The odds of this retest are probably 80% or more, right? That's why we have the reversion trade. Here's the 1 ATR reversion, here's the 2, here's the 3. That's the pattern, right? You don't know which one it's going to be. One's happened nonstop, the two's happened nonstop. That's why I said if you're going to take these by hand, you got to take them all. That's how you have the probabilities play out in your favor. So now we're just waiting for that. Algo guy is pulled, so you got those algos that'll be in the favor of a short too, which is good. What else? All right, let's keep going over this while we're waiting. I showed you the course. Here's if you can't get in the room, if you can get these inflection zones, these Izzy zones we're talking about. They're free in my room, and the spreadsheet's free. If you can't get in the room, you go to this site. That gives you access. You can get the spreadsheet, you can get the zones, you can get the combo. That's that. But you get them for free as a member of my room. Website, email. You need to get a hold of me. Here's the Twitter. Let's just go over quickly one of the strategies I put on yesterday. Actually, that's not Twitter. I just want to show you guys, because remember I was saying I never trade at the zone, right? There's one trade we trade at the zone right now. There's going to be another one coming up, but this was yesterday, right? This is right when I got off the webinar. We did an early PM webinar, and this happened right after I got and I took the trade, and it was an instant winner, right? So this is the newest trade, TikTok. This is the only trade right now that's an auto fade trade, meaning the minute you hear an event, you're in the trade. You don't wait for the ATR to hear. That's this TikTok, right? Take any fade trade on an NYSE tick extreme for YMNES, NYSE, or NQ tick extreme for NQ. Trade is taken immediately when the tick hits an extreme and an SI event triggers. So that was this yesterday, right? I literally just got off the webinar and the market ripped. Dumb and Dumber event, buy stop, usually a fade because it's just a retail trader puke.
That's
With
11:30 a.m. Eastern time. The US sells $95
with
million in foreign bills.
We got some bill auction too. That usually has been having an effect on the market. That's coming up. Anyway, take extreme. The second I heard this thing, I jumped in and because I was leaving too, I got out like right at this prior event. I was out of the whole trade. This was like 100+ tick trade in seconds. It was awesome. You don't get those that often, that quickly, but that's the trade, right? So that's why I wanted to show you. That's the only trade we take when the zone fires off and not wait for the ATR. You could have waited for the ATR too, but it would have cut your profit in half, obviously. But that's what I wanted to show you there. Let's go back to just wait and see what happens. Well, let's look at crude here too, because crude's still very bullish. You got some pukes, sell stops. Let's see if this is an event. No Izzy here. We're in between Izzy zones here. We caught this move this morning. I put that in my room too, the breaking away trade. Anyway, nothing to do on the long side. I take that back. This is a red rum. You got sell stops into the red ribbon of algo guy. That's a strategy, right? So I should probably already be long this. Let's see. That was this event down here. Sell stops, came back more sell stops, but I could have been long. Actually right here. Right, so this cuts off when a new event draws, but this was, at the time, this was the entry for red rum, right? So if this comes back, I should already just been filled. So I'm going to put on red rum there, or if you want to, you can trade it off of this one too. 76.47. I'm going to go to the current position. It's probably the same. I'm going to put on 9. I'm not going to trade double size long here. I'm not, it's not that great of an area now. On that breakout of the balance, it was a really good area. It's still looking bullish, but I'm not going to, like if I pull back to this balance, I would trade double size longs. But right now, what else you see here, this is actually the newest trade that's going to be coming out. I keep saying I haven't put out the newest trading strategy. So this was high, relative high, and we can look at it. I already showed you on the chart, right? When you get these directional conviction moves so many times, it's one of the best trades actually. The market will retrace 50% of that, and then it continues because it's common sense, right? Think of all the shorts that get run over on this move. They're holding their breath. As it comes back, they're like, please let me out, and it moves to the next wave up. So that hasn't quite retraced into this Izzy zone. It would retrace, so that's going to be a good Izzy. Then I would trade double size longs right now that I see that. Anyway, right here, red rum. This is the entry, basically right here. I could put on 9, 76.45. Red rum. If you guys are old enough, you know exactly what that means. If you're not, Google it. 143, put on 9. What did I say that was? 76.46. All right, that is working. What I can also put on here too, off of either one of these, bark and lick. Algo guy's bullish. We just looked at that. Finally hit the ATR right there. That's the old ATR. If it retests this zone, take barks and licks at the same price, and I could potentially add to barks and licks if it goes here. So I got those working too. Bookmap Bob will let us know if this retests this first zone. The newest one actually already proved bullish too. So say it doesn't get back to this. This is just a variation, right? We talk about the variation trades. Say it doesn't get back to this guy. It already hit the ATR. I could still put on barks and licks off of this guy. Here's your ATR. Hit the blue. Retest. Confirm. That entry for barks and licks is 76.53. Let's make sure we got some liquidity up here. I'm sure we do. Sure do. Liquidity. So if this comes back to 76.53, I'm going to put on barks and licks. I'm already going to put on red rum, 76.53. And 76.46. We already talked about that. And then barks and licks, 76.53. Let me get those rolling. Any questions? Throw them in. 76.53. You guys can see, like, trying to learn this while I'm doing it, your head's probably spinning. Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Here's the prior one retested too. So I could take barks and licks off of that as well. Then that entry was 76.46. So I'll take both of them. It's bark and we got crude, that's like crude bark is number 36. those are working.
Iranian stock
It's now
market is
76.52.
16%.
You got Iran. The guy's talking about Iranian stuff, so that's another. I don't trade fundamentally, but it's definitely not going to hurt the longs, right? So once again, what am I doing here? I have a red rum working off of that guy. You can put it off of this too. I'm not going to put on 2 red rums, but then I have. Here's your ATR. Here's a retest of that zone. I'm going to go along at that prior price, and then I'm going to also take a bark and lick off of that guy. So I'll basically have double size on, but they're off 2 different events. And then my stop, once I fill, is trailed to 76.97. Everything's on the chart for you. Sizing, entry, stop. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Johan. I've nominated Johan for the Trader Hall of Fame. Gold, by the way, this is what I was referring to as an A+ reversion trade. I'm not taking these on the webinar. Actually, I might take this one. Here's your event. Your reversion 1 ATR is right there. Your stop is through that. So that as long as your entry is in front of this prior event, or as long as your stop is through it, you can take that. So the odds of this bouncing here, coming back, this is what's working in the trading firm that we got rolling. This is an A+ reversion trade. I'm actually going to put that on right now on this account. By the way, I just got paid again. Actually, let me put this on here. So you can see today I took a lot of these trades today on this. I got all my Apex accounts, and this one's kind of a hybrid, but I'm going to put on this reversion trade right now. It's basically right here. But you can see today is it's up $6 grand. Right? So hold on.
Order fill.
So I put those on, and I want to show you guys this too. So I should be long right there. My stop's here. This is an A+ reversion. I don't almost never take these, especially in the Bookmap webinar. I know you guys are confused enough. That stop loss is 2549.8. Put those on. And all this trade this is like a scalp trade. We're playing for a move back to the zone. Put this stop in. Alright, I never got filled on those long. See guys, this is why, I'll go to the credit in a second. This is why I don't put anything on until it does the routine, does the pattern. Anyway, I'm out of this reversion trade at 25. You can see it down there in the bottom left. 2557.3. And this is just a quick scalp. If you're going to scalp, this is the only way that I know of that. And remember, I made millions of dollars scalping, so if I'm not doing it, just staring at this dome, it might tell you something. You want to waste months of your life trying to make money off the dome? Good luck. It ain't gonna happen. Hold on, what was that? I had some orders still in the order book. That's not cool. All right, so I never did anything with this crude. Right, I was waiting for that, the red rum, the bark lick. This newest event has turned out. Actually, I thought that already qualified it as a long. Did it not? No, maybe not. All right, so this event is bearish. I thought it already touched the ATR line, but Bookmap Ltd said differently as well. Let's see. Yeah. And then you got new stops here too. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, new stops. So I didn't do anything off of here, but here's a new event. This is another red rum though. If this holds, I'll take this red rum, right? Right into the red ribbon. This bounces, sell stops, Dumb and Dumber, usually your fade trades as it is. So this red rum, I can enter. Just do the process all over again. Another event, new event, 76.32. I will go long, red rum, 76.32. Keeps moving lower. And the algo guy crosses, then we can put on barks and licks off of this guy. So we'll keep an eye on that. I got red rum working. Is this an Izzy trade too? Can't remember. Equities are doing absolutely nothing, guys, so that's why we're not really covering those right now. This is why. So this is the area, remember I said? So this is an Izzy's potential Izzy long here too, but it's not now because this short just validated. Right? So I can't go long off of this event. Another event fires offline. It just validated short, right? So there's no longs, but you can see you're staring at this bar chart. You hear the guy talking about Iran. It's like, oh my God, this thing's gonna keep going. I'm gonna kill this day. And you're all long up here, and then you're taking it on the chin right now. Well, if you watch the most important thing, which is the real-time volume, you stay out of trouble, right? There were no entries here. If anything, right, this did move higher, but there was no barks or licks or anything because it came back and it didn't. This is why I wait for that pattern. This one, bearish. This one, it did get up to here, but I didn't put anything on because I was waiting for that. This one actually never confirmed, and this was a bearish event. So the point is, this was telling you that you don't enter. You don't. I did not take any long losers here, right? Based on what the real time volume. So not putting on a losing trade is the same as putting on a winning trade, right? When you break it down. So that's why you need this information. If you are just staring at this chart, you are getting your ass sanity if you jumped in long. I didn't do anything. I will go long if I get an event, but not off of this one. This is a bearish event. There's nothing for me to do on the short side off of this event right now until algo guy pulls, and it's trying, and then I'll be looking short. It's not pulled yet. I'll still take the red rum if this holds. Actually, I can't. I'm sorry. I take that back. So red rum is DQ'd here. Why? I just put this in. It was ready to go. Well, it just tagged the ATR below. No go. DQ'd. Red rum is canceled. So you see, it's like I have these trades working, but I don't put anything on until it can push away the ATR. So here's another example, right? Say you love trading off the algo guy, and you're like, yes, here's the move into the ribbon. I'm taking that thing right away, right into there. Oh, you just got smushed, right? I didn't do that because it didn't move back out of the event, an ATR. That's why I use that. All right, I gotta take a break. Breath. You guys got questions? No questions. All right. So we will keep an eye on crude. This event has proven bearish. We were waiting for the ATR retest confirm. That has not happened yet. And I took the 2 ATR, whatever this one, 1 ATR, 2 ATR, A plus reversion trade. So those are all working. I got that on. Here's some more activity in crude. Now you got sell ice. There's still nothing for me to do on the short side here until algo guy pulls. But I could go long this guy. So see how I'm defaulting to the most recent event. Here's a sell ice event. Where are we at? It's in between Izzy zones. This is pretty close. Right? It's through that zone. And it's not quite into that zone. I still take an Izzy here. I don't usually do this just because it's pretty much the halfway point of that. We've already talked about that. So I would take an Izzy long here if this, I'm not getting in yet. If this event turns bullish, let's see where else we're at. That's not a good sign for crude that it fell back out of that market profile composite. There's nothing for me to do in the market profile. And I don't have a trade at the yellow lug. Some people do. Yellow lug's more of a mean and it kind of chops around there. So, it could easily bounce. I will get out of trades to say I was short. By the way, I was long up into the red lug. That was awesome. Say I was short. I would get out of some at this yellow lug, but I don't enter trades at it. I just will piece out of some. All right, so if this turns out to be a bullish event, I would take the Izzy. It's real close to this other one. So, these are zones. They're not exact prices. I'll take it. But if this turns bearish, I'm not taking any Izzy long, and then I got potential barks and licks if algo guy pulls. So the Izzy long here. So this is where you get into a little issue as far as I don't like entering trades into prior events. I try to move them out, right? So if this was by itself, see how that entry point is right in that zone? I would just move it out. Well, but then you got that one, and then you got all this other stuff. So you got to make a decision. You either bite the bullet, at least get out of that one. But you can't keep moving it out of all these prior events over here, or you cost yourself 100 ticks. So I'll enter this Izzy long if this holds. Doesn't sound like it's going to hold either. I'm not even going to put this in yet because this is about to validate short. So this is getting interesting. And crude too. Algo guy's pulling. And guess what we have here? Off of this event. Heavy Al. For my trade room, especially. Right here. Hal. Algo guy cross with heavy relative volume. Well, we see it's crossing. What's the relative volume look like? There you go, 4 times normal. So all these longs are getting their asses handed to them, and you're seeing it right there. So I will take a short. Heavy Al is happening. And that is an aggressive entry, meaning first move out of that short I can take aggressively. Heavy Al, 75.29 is my entry. I could put on 7. That's Hal, number 141. I haven't put on a Hal in a while. 141. $75.29. Right, that's working. Hasn't confirmed bearish yet. If this holds, I could put on Izzy long, 76.04 or 76.05. So I got 2 different trades working here depending on which way this breaks out of the zone. All right, that's working too. So we'll see which way this breaks. I don't do anything until it shows its hand. Waiting for that. Waiting for my A+ reversion trade. Let's go gold. Get your crap going. We know you want to do it. Rip back to that zone. Nothing doing here. Here's your retest. Did this retest? Yep, right there. See, Bookmap Bob, let me know. That was a while ago. No, this was a while ago. Sorry. This retested. The problem here is Algo guy's pulling back this way. Remember, I was going to put on Izzy short. I still could put on Izzy short. Izzy is not contingent on Algo guy. I'm still going to put on Barks and Licks short because if this does come back, see how it's kind of just like starting to pull again. If this comes back, the blue will definitely be below the red, and that's my filter for my Barks and Licks. So here's your ATR. Here's your retest. Surprise, surprise. By the way, if you took the 1 and 2, maybe. Let's see. No, just the 1 worked. 1 ATR, back to the zone. You're out right at that price. Anyway, here's your retest. This comes back. I'm shorting Izzy, Bark, Lick. All right, we already went over this. 19, 6, 11, 50. Then I could put on 3. I'm not going to trade double size right here, but if this starts moving lower, anything lower than here, and I can start getting events, I'm going to trade double size shorts because this thing will be not. I mean, it's not crazy bad here, but like I said, this thing should have ripped. We caught this yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. We caught huge shorts because of what should have happened and didn't happen. Again, this should have done this. Why is it hanging here? Gets back below here. Events, I will trade double size. This one I'm just going to trade normal size. 19, 6, 11 quarter, Bark, Lick, Izzy, short. I could put on 2 guy. This feels, I mean, again, it's just a feeling, it's just a guess. This is not what I trade off of, but it's very quiet. It feels like a lot of longs are holding their breath, and it feels like they're going to get their asses handed to them, which I will be here and with bells on to watch. 25. It's going to be glorious. All right, that's all working. See what Hero's doing. X7's kind of just hanging there. Yes, it's kind of hanging there. There's nothing going on in the options activity right now. That's just a helper. You know, if it starts rolling down, it's definitely going to affect the market. It's just another player in the market. Let's see what's going on here. There's been nothing in ES, but thesis-wise, what do you see here? Once again, something that should have happened is not really happening. This thing got out of here. Why is it back in here? It's not in here yet. It's right on the edge. If this gets back inside, that is not a good sign for equities or for ES. If it tried to break out of this and can't, expect it to go right back down. Just a thesis based on that. Didn't quite get to the red leg there. Then NASDAQ. You want to watch this blue lug, BWAP. Again, guys, these are just these, like, I use this stuff to come up with an idea of what may happen. I still trade. If I got a long, I trade that. We've been talking about all webinar. Oh my God, I'm way over the time. Sorry, guys, I didn't even see that. Sorry, Dan. I get yelled at when I go over the time. Way over. Sorry about that. There's someone else going. All right, guys. So you see what I got those shorts working here. I'm about to get filled here. Watch these markets. This, especially Nasdaq. There has been a lot of activity up here. This starts motoring lower. Watch out. And if it holds, watch out to the upside. This is really important. Line in the sand today. Yes, there's been nothing. I'm working those trades in crude, and then we got the A+ reversion working in gold. So sorry, guys. I had no idea we were past the time here. So I do this every day in my trade room. Come by. We didn't get a chance to go through this document either, but all the stuff I use is in this document. Right? You can use the spot gamma, Scott code. Here's the tick strike. There's discounts to all this stuff in here. We didn't get to Apex too. So what I wanted to show you quickly, because everyone's like, Apex is a scam. They don't pay. I've been using it for 3 years now, and I've been paid multiple times. And this is the most recent one. I wanted to keep that up for you. Got this yesterday. Your requested payout for $3,000 has been approved. Once it hits my account, I'll post that too. But I've been posting when the guys in my trade room are getting paid. As that is the best thing for it is a gift to have that. It's like having your own trading firm. You don't have to risk your own money. So use the code Pulcini 50 for any sale they got going on. I think they got the 80% right now. Again, all this stuff as well, guys, is on my website, right? So just quickly. Go here. Everything on the spreadsheet is on here. So you go over here. Here's Apex. It even says it on the thing there. Just use Pulcini 50 for any of the evals and get paid. Right there, 80% off right now. Use that. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry I ran over Mr. Bookmap people. I will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you.